Good afternoon, evening, wherever you see this. Uh, so really quick before I start the video, I want to talk about some changes that are coming up and some new things that are coming into production with how I'm starting off with this and where it's leading to. So as of now, I have a new camera. Yay. A new camera to film my videos on. And then I'm going to be doing some more content as well on my Instagram page, which is more mainly going to be fitness based, but probably have around the same talk aspects that I have here. So we're going to keep that in alignment with my content post rates and stuff of that nature. I don't think it'll change how much I'll do here, just because these type of videos are more interpersonal, they're more intimate with my conversation and kind of have more freedom to kind of conversate, opposing to where I'm in the gym and I'm doing fitness. I'm in a whole different mindset and yeah, stuff like that. So that's going to be coming soon. Right now I'm kind of getting the office set up for it. I'm getting my whole little desk set up for it, new desktop, all types of things. So in the near future that'll come. But as always, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for choosing this video to watch. So what I want to start off with is that this video is really just going to be a prediction based type of video. It's an idea I kind of had. Sorry, I'm walking two dogs today, 1 and 2, bit less spacious and gotta be more cautious, but this video is just going to be more prediction based. I like to make predictions about the future, just to see where my alignment is in time, how far off I am, how far on I am, see how close I am to things. And it's not necessarily to say, oh, I was right or, oh, I'm wrong, but just to see where I am and where I need adjustment in, what are fields that I'm not paying attention to that are taking a bigger global aspect and turn of things. So yeah, this, like I said, prediction based. You can listen to it or not, but this is just where I am now, and maybe you could any viewers could see and post any comments based on this, see if your concepts and ideas and how they go. And it's always a great space to have discussions and conversations about. So this video is based on technology, and how society is conforming and evolving, as well as unionizing with it. And when we look in the past, we see there are all different types of slavery. Yes, we can say, of course, in the slave times with, Africans that were, shipped over to the States to be put in forced as hard laboring workers, unwillingly, forcefully, and the lack of knowledge to keep them in conformity with the things that their empowered authorities were placing upon them. And if you keep going in time, of course, there's like the work slavery where where Americans really thought that college, the route for college and then getting a career, getting that house, getting the family was like the ideal picture, which, as we've now gotten into in the more previous years, we've realized that that concept was mistaken, because for one, we're all different people, and with all those different aspects and personalities and identities, some of us don't align with that at all, especially in the newer generations. We definitely don't align with that. So the new theory on this is now a technological slavery. If you look around globally, the conversations dealing with AI, how they're programming, reprogramming, and how much of that AI is in control. What I see is technological slavery, where instead of being physical, everything is in technological spaces. And the internet is really its own new little universe, I would say. In the internet, anything that is shown in your face can be perceived as true. However, in realistic or reality aspects of it, outside of the internet, there are a lot of pieces, a lot of key details that are often left out, and it's for the embetterment of the author or publisher or reporter, for their own greatness. So in my time right now, what I see is that we will be forced to be in and this is a rash kind of idea, but a global 2020 pandemic, however, as a contingent lifestyle. What do I mean by this? So if you can look around now, workspaces, especially infrastructure, mechanical, really anything nowadays, is being operated morely with technological advances that we can program to do whatever we want, however long we want, and they don't necessarily carry along the feelings and the all the necessary resources needed to keep that process and that progress there. And instead, it's only needed for what? Just some mechanical repairs, and it's back to new. So if we were to continue this space and we were to continuously evolve to it, I can only see a space now where physically humans aren't needed. Bill Gates has said this himself, that in very newer upcoming years, AI is going to replace us all in a lot more spaces than we can imagine. And this goes beyond just mechanical and industrial, but maybe in service industries, definitely on, entrepreneurial aspects. Me being a developing entrepreneur as of right now, I can definitely see how much that technology is useful and needed, and it cleans out a lot of gaps. So this technological slavery, from my standpoint right now, is that producer versus consumer tug of war, where really we're just like, yeah, we're all producers. We have the capability of all being producers, at least. However, all of us are consumers. As far as how much of that consumption is, as long as the person is in moderation of things and, keeps attention towards their fulfillment to produce compared to their excessive need to consume, all determines on the person. But with this technological slavery now, I see that all the problems that we see now, I see them triple folding, and they're amplified so high to the point where it's almost, I don't want to say necessary, but almost as it is the day in the life. So, the new trend now is like morning routines and everything like that, with like the new profounding influencer Ashton Hall, who's been gaining incredible amounts of follower count in the past few months, especially how their whole routine is. And you know, as he's being a producer for himself, he's also giving items to consume for others. I see that gap increasing where the simplest things, and it's starting to really become a real big thing. I'm starting to see where the simpler things are starting to be much more rewarded. As a person who aspires to develop for success, routines is like the core foundation for it all. I mean, if you don't have a structured system to work by, you're everywhere. And once you're everywhere and you start sitting in that everywhere for X amount of time, eventually you're leaving too much space for things to get inward, and instead of you producing things outwardly. So what I'm seeing now, or what I believe I'm seeing now, is that AI will take over. This is almost inevitable. However, how much of that it takes over is going to be far more than just workspaces. I believe that it'll take over mindsets. I don't think that we as people will furtherly evolve internally, and instead we will be reliant on the computer systems that generate answers and solutions for us in moments of time. I believe that the programming systems that are being used now, that are using us and that are controlling us and that we are the product of, will only amplify to levels that are almost unheard of for now, of course. And it would almost be like we will live virtual reality, where everything we do, everything we need, consume of, will be virtual. And not only that isn't only a bad thing. Obviously, a good thing of evolution is that there are spaces for us to learn from and use for our own personal goods. However, that thin line between producing and consuming will only get so much thinner that if the person does not have the capable skills of awareness and attentiveness to their actions and self, that it can easily over control the person. And learning as a Gen Z, I know how captivating and controlling social media can be already. It doesn't take much to doom scroll for 2 hours. It really doesn't, because it's entertaining. It's very entertaining. It's all made specifically for thy person. Each individual phone has each individual Instagram post and reels, and all the entertainment is given to you instead of you finding it. You don't have to find anything really anymore. Everything's given to you. So that instant gratification is only becoming more instant. And there's nothing more instant now compared to what it could be. From what my thought process of it is that instant gratification comes from obviously something given to you without little to no effort. And this evolution of instant gratification will become like an ultra instant gratification where there is no effort at all, zero effort. Nowadays, of course, you have to still install Instagram. You still have to make an account. You still have to make an account. You still have to put your demographics in there. And then after a while too, you have to spend some time to really start to get the app to personalize towards you. But the way I'm seeing it now is that if we were to be constructed where we have to automatically place our identities onto the internet, AI will already recognize us before we even get the time to really explain who we are. And that ultra instant gratification is coming in where instead of you having to make an account and you have to spend time on said app to get that feed that you are really personalized to, the internet is going to already identify who you are, how you interact with already previous technological advances, media, such of that nature. And once you're on, it's immediately personalized to you. It's immediately given to you. And now it's more instant than ever because, well, you literally had no effort to put into nothing now. You didn't even have to put in your age into Instagram now because Instagram already knew your age. It had your identity before you could even place any numbers in there. All you had to put in was maybe either a name or a serial number or something that is now so personalized to you that you are the only person that has that information, or you're the only person that that can really lodge into that. So ultra instant gratification is just 16 steps ahead of where instant gratification is, I feel like. And it's going to be twice as addicting. So addicting, in fact, that I believe that this form of addiction will be almost impossible to break. Almost impossible to break. They say that heroin, alcohol, things like that are some of the hardest addictions to break. I almost am confident to say that once this form of gratification comes, this type of addiction will only quadruple the likelihood of you breaking it. And so I don't want you guys to be afraid of this. Obviously, I don't want this to be feared upon because it's going to happen anyways. Sometimes some things that happen in the world, you just simply can't change. You don't have the power to change it. You never will get that power to change it. However, what you can do is either influence for a better way. You can fight against it, obviously. You can rebel, sure. Or you can utilize that numbers, that ultra gratification, that ultra necessity to be guided by something else. This can be a very captivating moment for a lot of entrepreneurs. This can be a very captivating moment for influencers, and then the whole line where we're not needed to be worked. We're not needed for work anymore. We're needed to bring other people in. We're needed to bring the influence. And influencers will be used as full-time employees under a strict minimum wage or a strict wage that will identify or market certain corporations and businesses and things of that nature to gain their customer service, their customers. And that thin line of producer and consumer will get so thin eventually that there won't be a line anymore, and there will only be, you are used to produce things for other people to consume, and as well you are the exact same consumer that another producer has dragged you to. So I haven't really put much direct detail into this thought. As you can see in the video, I've had quite the abstract of ideas, but It is definitely, I feel as though, the next phase of what we've been so-called fighting against, slavery. There is no freedom after a while. Ultra gratification will take away all aspects of freedom. The only freedom that a person will have at that point is the decision to be the different character, and that alone will be a priceless value as a skill. And so, yeah, I want to get more in detail into this, obviously, but that's really the biggest abstract way to me saying it rawfully and truthfully of what I think, you know what I'm saying, the next coming years are going to be like. And when I say the next coming years, I want to say maybe 5-10 years, but this could also extend to 20 years. There's visions that are going to be made. There are going to be a lot of systems that are going to rebel against what we have now. What we have now is great, but there are going to be visionaries that show a better side, what we think at least is a better side, and more so than a better side, but the perfect side. And that is going to be that influence that's going to drag in millions of people. And ultimately, in that point, the economic processes of things are going to be gapped to the point where there's only two classes, rich and poor. And we'll be so distracted that we won't even notice it's there. We won't know anything about what's there because we're so ultra gratified by everything else that where do we find the space to really care about a problem to come? So that's it, really. That's really all I got. If you guys have any ideas, concepts, maybe even some details, some facts about what I've just discussed that could possibly play into, by all means, please do leave a comment on that. I love to read those type of things, and I don't see everything, and you guys also don't see everything, so it's really good to have a community that brings all those details together. So yeah, this is Quez. Again, thank you guys for your choice of attention today, and I hope you have a wonderful great day. Not a great day, sorry, a wonderful great day. And yeah, thank you.